Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please find your seats, we'll begin the ceremony in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. The ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Ceremony will begin in 1 minute. Please take your seat.
Wow, I never thought this day would come. But none of us would be here today without the support of our families, friends, and most importantly, our teachers. The class of 2019 is unlike any other. Despite our differences in race, interests, and faith, we have found a way to come together, finding more connections than differences, and becoming one big family. As we gather here today to celebrate a new step forward, let us not forget the blessings that follow behind us. To further express our gratitude, I humbly request for everyone to bow their heads for words of faith. Dear Higher Power, we thank you for our time here at Westlake Academy and the opportunities to come. We thank you for our parents, siblings, and teachers. Our role models exemplified Proverbs 22:6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. We thank you for providing a space to grow our love for learning, to heed the words of the Quran, Surah 96, ayats 3-5. Read. Read in the name of thy Lord who taught by the pen. He taught the human being what he did not know. We thank you for our difficulties, for allowing us to learn from our experiences as the book of Job invites us to trust God's wisdom and character. We thank you for our classmates, our friends who have become our brothers and sisters, for the amazing memories we have made with them, and for the lessons we have learned from each other. Help us to continue to teach others, to practice 1 Timothy 4:12, to be an example in what we say, in the way we live, in our love, our faith, and our purity. And lastly, thank you for the privilege of being a part of Westlake Academy's class of 2019. Amen.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Good afternoon. I have the distinct privilege of introducing one of our distinguished guests, Mayor Wheat. When first tasked with the opportunity to present her, I was unsure of how I was going to compose a 2-minute speech that truly encapsulates our mayor and all she has accomplished with her more than 10-year tenure. As mayor, she has seen the town dwellers come and go, while she has remained in Westlake and watched the town grow and flourish before her very eyes. She has specifically helped Westlake Academy reach a nationally ranked status, which we continue to support. So, because of this, I shall turn back today to Westlake Academy for some help. I figured I could make good use of the learner profile traits of the International Baccalaureate program that Westlake Academy proudly offers, and that my fellow classmates and I have conquered. After all, Mayor Wheat has seen 2 of her own sons triumph through the IB. Mayor Wheat is caring, as she has been recognized by President Bush for her community service endeavors. She is communicative, as she frequently addresses hundreds, sometimes thousands of people, with their polished oratory skills. She is balanced, as she not only serves as the mayor, but also as the president of the school's board of trustees. And she is an inquirer, as she constantly searches for ways to better Westlake. The list goes on and on. Only in vain, though, as I introduce to you the knowledgeable, principled, and reflective Mayor Laura Wheat.
It doesn't get any better than that, does it? Thank you so much, Connor. Oh my goodness, just what a pleasure it is to be with you today. I am joined by our Mayor Pro Tem Carol Langdon and our Council Member Rick Renhack. And on behalf of Carol and Rick and everyone on our school board and town council, it is just my distinct privilege to welcome you today to the 10th commencement exercises for the class of 2019. We are just so excited that you're here. You know, I'm also joined by several others who will be participating today in these commencement exercises. We have with us Amanda DeGan, who is our superintendent and our town manager. We have Dr. Michelle Bryson, our executive director, our principals Stacy Stoyanoff and Rod Harding, and our collegiate counselor, Mr. Carl Tippin. And we have with us a very special guest who is often heard but seldom seen, and that's Mr. Mark, aka Hawkeye Lewis from KSCS 96.3. Thank you to each of you for being here and for participating in today's commencement exercises. Parents of our graduating seniors, you did it. I know that for some of you, this is your first high school graduation. For some, you're watching your last child cross the graduation stage, and for others of you, you're somewhere in the middle. But for each of you, this is one emotional day. There are times in my life where I lament the fact that Doug and I no longer have kids at home, and when I get to that kind of unhappy place, I am quickly cheered when I remember that I will never again have to be on that roller coaster that you have been on this past year. It's been something, I know it. It wasn't that long ago that I was in your seats, and I thought to myself that someone had made a dreadful mistake, because there's absolutely no reason why this thing should be called a commencement. It's all about endings from your perspective. I suspect that some of you share my confusion over that word, that this just feels like a giant chapter in your life closing. And if the truth be known, the commencement part of today, it really may not have a lot to do with you. It has everything to do with these amazing young men and women who are seated to my left, who are about to burst with anticipation and pride and enthusiasm for all that lies ahead for them. It is indeed their beginning. It's their commencement. And if the truth be known, I know you wouldn't have it any other way. My goodness, you've worked 18 years or more to get here. Those 18 years of sleepless nights and endless carpools and forgotten homework, missing uniform ties, broken iPads, undying love, never-ending devotion. Well, it all came together in a great way. It all worked. And as my now 90-year-old mom would say to each of you, you done good. Congratulations to you. And thank you. And now to my senior friends. Mark Twain once said that there are two most important days in your life. The first most important day is the day that you're born. Interestingly enough, the second most important day is not the day you graduate from high school. No, that's not what Mark Twain thought. Mark Twain thought your first most important day was the day you were born, and the second most important day is the day you discover why. When I first heard that quote, I smiled because I thought, wouldn't that be something if you could discover your why, your reason for being in a day? I don't think that's possible. I don't believe that. What I do believe, though, is that each of us has many reasons for being. We have many reasons why. The trick is that we have to find them for ourselves. The notion that I was responsible for finding my own purpose, for discovering my own why, used to paralyze me. What if I didn't get it right? How would I know if I was on the right track? Well, fortunately for me, the Dalai Lama came to my rescue, because the Dalai Lama believes that the purpose of every life is joy. So if you want to discover your why, your reasons for being, look for those things in life that bring you joy. To that end, I challenge you to start paying attention to how you feel. Look for areas of study that make your heart sing. Find classes that you just can't wait to get to because you want to soak it all in. Find friends who uplift you, who excite you, who motivate you. Avoid those who bring you down. How do you know who they are? Just pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to how you feel when you're around them. In just a few moments, you are going to exit this platform armed with an international baccalaureate education. That education has given you so many tools with which you can discover your joy, your reason for being, your why. You have been taught how to be persistent. You have been taught how to keep your mind open. You have been taught how to inquire, how to communicate. You have been taught to embrace risk. Those are tools to which you can return time and time and time again as you seek to define and refine and define anew your reason for being. I think it's important to remember the true purpose of an international baccalaureate education. It was not to get you into the college or university of your choice. That was just a happy byproduct. No, the true purpose of an international baccalaureate education is to develop caring and nurturing, inquiring young people who will help to create a better and more peaceful world. I believe with every ounce of my being that with every joyful discovery of your reason for being, your why, you are making the world a better place. I want you to know that everyone in this room is so proud of you. They cannot wait to see what life has in store for you on the very many second most important days ahead. On behalf of the Town Council and the Westlake Academy School Board, please accept our sincere congratulations on this, your commencement. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the salutatorian of our class of 2019, Miss Macy Ormond. Macy has attended Westlake Academy since kindergarten. Over the years, she has become heavily involved in the Student Council as a representative and the International Student Leadership Symposium as an ambassador. She also regularly volunteers at local nonprofits such as Christ Haven and the Community Storehouse, in addition to serving abroad alongside the organization Students Shoulder to Shoulder. And last but certainly not least, she is an avid athlete who has participated in club volleyball for 7 years and has been a valued team member on both varsity volleyball and softball teams at Westlake. Macy will be attending Texas A&M University in the fall as a business honors major with a concentration in finance. Please welcome Macy.
Welcome again, friends, family, teachers, and administrators. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here today to celebrate with us a day that is one they say we will always remember. But especially thank you for all of the advice and support you've so graciously gifted us over the years. From strapping us with that first backpack in kindergarten and holding our little hands until we were fitted into our first desk, to this day, when you will at the end undoubtedly shake that same hand and hold us in a way that is not so very different from that first day of school hug. Both embrace the contradiction of saying goodbye and never wanting to let us go. The diploma my classmates and I will be handed today represents some 36,000 hours of studying, from that first lecture on the ABCs in kindergarten to the IB exams we finished this past month. A lot of effort, at times tears, but if you know this class, a whole lot of laughs. Our class has filled the pages of our young life with so many memories that it seems on this day in particular, we will almost burst with them, even as we look forward to the next chapters. But before we take that next step forward, let's reminisce for a moment our past. Forgive me, just a few memories, just a few. In the past few days, the first chance I've had in 13 years, it seems, to look back, I've contemplated the many ways in which we as people feel alive. I used to think that feeling alive would stem from something I would do myself, a place that I would go to, or things that I would learn. But from my time at Westlake Academy, I've come to realize that the times in which we truly lived were not a result of one person's actions, but the result of a collective spontaneity, a whole class working and having fun together. The class of 2019 will be remembered not only for our ability to persevere and succeed in the classroom, on the football field, on the baseball field, on the volleyball court, but because of our liveliness. Never once did the class of 2019 let the pressure and stress of our seemingly infinite workload infringe on our fun. Through the years, as the schoolwork piled up, our liveliness only seemed to grow, rising to every occasion. In our primary years, no one could match us as witches and superheroes at the annual Halloween parade. We were good at playing bad and great at playing good. Our co-ed Westies soccer team all through primary school battled it out week by week in our youth league. At the field days, we were the most competitive. I don't think we ever lost a single potato sack race. In our many music concerts, many music concerts, with our violins and violas, we were sure we were Mozart or Beethoven. Only when we became teenagers did we realize that those grade school concerts were the most terrible sounds our parents had had to endure since they took us crying from the crib. Bus rides to junior high sporting events were never complete without Taylor Swift karaoke, and dance battles in PE class always incorporated the appropriate mix of jump ropes and sombreros. In 8th grade, we explored our fascination with politics and geography by traveling to Washington, D.C. as a class. But we lost Avi, whose spontaneous decision to get on the wrong bus left us all contemplating mortality. We thought we had left him at the Smithsonian, but the high school years, these were filled with invaluable memories of winning football games and losing powder puff games, both with pride. It was during these formative years that each and every one of us reached impressive personal milestones. Mauricio grew a beard in one day as a freshman, and Reese lost all of his baby teeth before the fall of his senior year. He was always a late bloomer. In the classroom, we excelled. We successfully generated a quadratic equation from the trajectory of a pumpkin launched across the football field. And we wrote senior theses on anything from ancient Greek literature to concussions in modern football. Finally, at our senior haunted house, We may have made some young children cry. Mauricio in a pig costume can bring the bravest among us to some kind of tears. We were good at playing bad and great at playing good. We have without a doubt had our fair share of fun, but it is these invaluable memories that I will forever cherish as I look back at my time at Westlake Academy, a time that has gone by far too quickly. I will forever be grateful for the lifelong friendships I have made, and am sure that our tight-knit group will remain close as we go on to even more amazing and lively adventures. On the stage with me today are future doctors, politicians, engineers, lawyers, teachers, businessmen and women, and more. All of us, future world changers and stigma breakers. Let us continue to be remembered, not only because of our success in our studies and endeavors, but because of our spontaneity and ability to enjoy all moments of life. Let us be reminded that the times in which we truly lived were the times in which we were in the presence of the best of people, our classmates. We hold these memories for a lifetime. I wish everyone in this auditorium could be a member of the class of 2019. We did it with sophistication and exhilaration, but we could not have done it without our biggest supporters, you all. From strapping that first backpack to adjusting our cap and gowns on this very day, we could not be more thankful for all you have done for us. So now, we await your congratulations and hugs and handshakes, embracing the contradiction of saying goodbye and never wanting to let us go. Thank you.
Well done, Macy. Thank you. It is now my distinct honor to welcome our valedictorian, Sajbir Bhatia, to the stage. Sajbir joined Westlake Academy in 8th grade. He has thoroughly enjoyed his time here and will never forget it. He hopes the Academy will prosper in the future and maintain its high quality of academic instruction. This fall, Saj will be a student at Duke University with plans of majoring in neuroscience. He has shared with us that his horoscope sign is a Leo. But he remains pretty chill even when conversing about a polarizing topic. Though he likes being cool-headed, Saj does not feel the same way about the temperature. He resents the austere nature of frigidity and so relishes the beauty of warmth. Nonetheless, coldness occurs at times, but he finds ways to stay warm where he can through his service organization, Music Heals, which aims to bring music to ailing communities. He says that the feeling of genuine service is pure, pleasing, and heartwarming. Other than focusing on academics, Saj occupies his leisure hours undertaking varied creative and physical endeavors, such as foreign language acquisition, playing the piano, and spending quality time with the fish in his koi pond. After graduating from Duke University, he plans to attend medical school. Please welcome Saj.
It's quite nice to stand up here in front of this medium-sized audience, because I like doing it. Giving speeches is fun for me because I get a kick out of it. I get a rush of excitement when several hundred eyes and almost as many ears are focused on me. And the pressure is quite exhilarating, and that's what makes it no longer pressure, but rather a nice feeling. A few days ago, Senor Morales mentioned how 75% of people are uncomfortable with public speaking. But if you think about it as a fun activity, that hesitation is forcefully eviscerated. Likewise, I can say the same thing about high school. It was fun because it's all about the mindset and the enjoyment. Even though we had hundreds of pounds of assignments and paper and tens of thousands of words to write and to turn in over time, it was enjoyable in retrospect. In the moment, I felt like it was a curse. But hey, I guess you can call it 20/20 hindsight. But why am I saying this was enjoyable? It's because we all did it. We're all sitting here. We all complained about the same things. We all felt relieved after the same assignments. We perpetually shared similar sentiments. This connection is what justified all the late nights doing lab reports or starting an essay when it was due the next day. I know every one of us has done that before. Or maybe it was just doing an IA in one night. Everything is a common experience. I am the valedictorian of this class, but that does not mean I did it alone. This single 13-letter word doesn't indicate that all of this accomplishment and all of my success transpired purely by my own volition in a vacuum. Even this individual feat, which a spectator may believe to be my own, was the successful harvest of the time and energy expended by all my teachers and my parents. As much as we may have said that we had too many summatives or too many essays or too much this or too much that, our teachers had to grade all this, and they're one person doing all that work while we're 65. They had to provide commentary and feedback, whether it took 1 week or 3 months. In the end, we always got it back. We must remember that all of our teachers are human, except Mr. Talley. But it was very fulfilling, because in the end, they experienced the same unexpected vicissitudes that we do. In the wise words of an Oriental philosopher, stuff happens. It's unbelievable how much has happened in the past years. I almost forgot that it happened, but in 9th grade, I broke my foot while we were playing soccer, and for the next few months, I had to ride my little scooter. And I remember all the jokes about some of my peers saying that I'm a pro BMX guy on my scooter, or that I had turbocharged V12s on my scooter. But at the same time, I just had my one leg up, and I was just kicking myself along the ramps up to school. But in the end, everything was okay. Even though I was incapacitated for 2 to 3 months, I wasn't focused on that, because everything passed by well. At the same time, we were all focused on something more important, our very first AP exam, human geography, which I can say every one of us dearly enjoyed. And it's unbelievable how much has changed. Because like grass, if you look at it every single day, you barely can notice anything. However, when you appraise the beginning and the end, what you see is a tremendous change which you would never have seen otherwise. And thinking about that, I was looking at some photos the other day from Washington, D.C. when we went in 8th grade. And everyone was so young. And yes, I understand we were all 4 to 5 years younger, but still, we were much younger. But everyone in this class is 17 to 19 years old. And the last 4 years of high school is roughly 20 to 25% of our lives so far, which is no small amount. Imagine this. Only this school year were we doing extended essay, were we doing TOK essay, were we working on all our IAs. It's unbelievable how much we've done. It feels like it was so much before that. But that was this year. It seems like it must have been longer before, but it's unbelievable how time passes. On the note of passing time, think about it. From when we were younger, we've seen the birth and death of the Whip and Nene. We've seen the death and birth of the Dab. We've seen Dat Boy and Harambe. Everything is so enriching. And what I can say about these tremendous memes is that Harambe never died. He is a beloved and immortal gorilla to all of us. And I remember for those few months that Harambe was brought up in almost every single class every single day. We may have been in English discussing structural and syntactical features of prose, but somehow someone had to sneak in and managed to sneak in a Harambe reference somewhere. Our class is great. It really is. Not many other students can say that everybody in their grade knows everybody else by name, let alone interact with them. They can't say their grade has that robust familial atmosphere. And it's unfortunate how the motif of familiarity and being family has become almost platitudinous. However, That is the perfect word that describes the class of 2019. We have that Southern hospitality, and I love that. But alas, here we are at the end. We earned this. Our diplomas we are receiving today, they are not gifts given to us. We are simply here to claim what we've already earned. We are here to finally hold in our hands physically the fruits of our 36,000 hours, which Macy mentioned before. But everything we've done along this journey, whether it was at Camp Eagle or at a senior lunch, everything is so enriching. And this experience with my classmates and everything that the school has organized is beautiful. I do not regret a single thing. Every moment at Westlake was worth it. But alas, here we are at the end. Everything will be fine in the future, because what we've learned when we were in Washington, D.C., with an unspecified individual who you guys all know the story of, but this certain unspecified individual got on the wrong bus. The unspecified individual, was on the wrong bus, and we were tense, we were worried. But out of this transient preoccupation emerged solace and resolve. But on that note of fortune, we should realize how fortunate we are to attend a school like Westlake and live in the environments that we do. But this could only come to fruition as the consequence of the toil and unwavering energy of our teachers and parents. I would like all to stand now. All students, all parents, all teachers, everybody to stand now and clap their hands and saturate the air with a booming, resounding sound of gratitude. That was the sound of gratitude, of deference, of an indebtedness which we shall always have to those who have helped this become reality. We will repay this, I'm sure, through our actions and our accomplishments, because all of us have that unbelievable capacity which we will surely make our parents proud with. And at this culmination of this long journey, so far, only the beginning, it is unbelievably beautiful how we are all in this environment and we're all here together. Here, the class of 2019, we are as juvenile birds, perched on the threshold of our nests, our homes, our families, our wings outstretched. Flight is imminent. As much of a milestone as it is for us, the same applies for our parents and for our teachers. And I am certain now, without a modicum of doubt, that our mothers and fathers can remember us as delicate babies, fresh, pure hatchlings. They would feed us as we learned how to eat, as we would slather our oatmeal or carrot puree everywhere. There were all the bats, all the bottles of baby shampoo, the toothless grins as our parents held us in their arms. They had the restless nights when we shrieked unexpectedly and they woke from their shallow slumber to care for us. I know they remember all the diapers and the stained clothes. We learned how to crawl during the time when every object large enough to grasp was a prospective object to put in our mouths. Then we sat. We learned how to sit. Then we walked. There was the first tooth, the first birthday, the first report card, and the first Halloween when statistically we probably wore a bumblebee or ladybug costume. And even more recently, when we were driving, all the hours, the nighttime hours, the bad weather hours, with our permit, our parents sitting at our sides, as we learned, and sometimes they had to grab the wheel for us because we were going off the lane. Our moms and dads, our grandparents, they were there for every milestone. They invested their youth in us. They sacrificed the prime time of their lives for us. What does that tell you? They care. They love us. So let us not waste that. But here we are, at the edge of the nest, wings outstretched, ready to leave behind everything and travel with the breeze. A gentle one, I hope. Nothing is going to be the same. We're leaving in 3 months. Nothing will be the same. We won't be at home getting called to dinner or talking about schoolwork as we normally might. And when our parents hear a sound in the house, their ears might peak and they think, is that my child? But we will not be there. This is the pattern of nature. The cyclical change is inevitable, and we are developing as young men and women who will eventually have our own lives and continue our families. And as momentous and overwhelming as it appears, let us take a lesson from our hearts. I'm not talking about the metaphorical heart, the throne of the soul. I'm talking about the real deal, meaty, pumping, blood-enriched, four-chambered cardiac muscle right here. If you look at the graph for an electrocardiogram scan, which is the graph that shows the completion of a heartbeat, it looks something like this. That shape, it demonstrates that nothing is straight. There's bumpiness, but with also big peaks, ups and downs in the middle. But in other words, it's not a flat line, because 9 out of 10 doctors diagnose patients with a flat line as a condition called dead. And in our lives, we will have those obstacles. We will have those things that come up, whether it's leaving home or something else of concern. Things happen, but everything is always fine afterwards. But that doesn't mean just because things happen, we abandon our responsibility, make foolish choices, and abandon our principles, banish our principles somewhere far. We always keep them with us. But there will always be obstacles, no matter what. And let's embrace them, because that's what living is. Now, in my closing remarks, I can confidently say that I love this class and my time here. I regret nothing, because every single one of you was a gift in one way or another. Thank you for being you. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Thank you.
Mark Lewis, better known as Hawkeye in the world of country music radio, is a 30-year veteran of morning radio and currently hosts the Hawkeye in the Morning Show on 96.3 KSCS. He is the longest-running host in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. To his avid listeners, of which I am one, it is no surprise that he has been named Personality of the Year by both Billboard magazine and the Academy of Country Music. But radio is not Mark's only passion. He's an avid experiential traveler, having skied Italy's famous Salronda. He's traversed Alaska via a dog sled. He's played baseball in Cuba and sailed the Caribbean. He's written 3 books, including his most recent, San Antonio Uncovered and The Travis Club. His most recent venture is Travel with Hawkeye. That's a multimedia travelogue that includes podcasting and features from his show, broadcast features, social media. And when you visit this travelogue, you will discover such wide-ranging things as 1,001 places to swim before you die, the ways in which tourism is really picking up in Chernobyl, and how to avoid lines in Disney World. Really, it runs the gamut. About a year ago at this time, I was listening to the Hawkeye in the Morning Show, probably around the second date update segment, and I heard Hawkeye remark that high on his bucket list was giving a commencement address. I remember smiling as I thought to myself, I think we can help you out there. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in welcoming a man who clearly has discovered his whys, Mr. Mark Lewis.
If there is one takeaway from today, and please let us all remember that, that is, if you get on the wrong bus in the 8th grade, your classmates will never let you forget about it. So let's just... I am dying to know who this kid is. Can you stand up so everybody can see who you are, who missed the bus? Yeah! Thank you. That is awesome. That is awesome. I am very excited to be here. I know the number one reason I'm here is because the Jonas Brothers were not available, and I'm okay with that. You see an opportunity, you take that. For those of you who don't listen to my show, I have a job that I work 4 hours a day. It's really easy, it's very fun, and I get paid a lot of money. My one piece of advice to this class is, if ever you're offered a job that you work 4 hours a day, and it's really easy and a lot of fun, and it pays a lot of money, take that job. It worked out well for me. I don't really have a lot of advice for you because you guys are going to figure it out. You've done very well here. I would like to spend a few moments to tell you about a relationship that you have and to prepare you for something. Someone in your life is going to change a lot in the next few years, and I want to prepare you for this because it's a very exciting thing to see how much they're going to grow and how fulfilling their lives are going to become. And these people are your parents. Right now, as you've probably figured out, your parents don't know a lot of stuff. And in the next 4 to 5 years, they are going to get a lot smarter. They're going to learn a lot of things. It's going to be amazing to watch. And I want to prepare you for this. Like, for instance, remember the time you told your mom at 8:45 on a Thursday you need to go to Michael's to get poster board for a project that was due tomorrow? And your mom said, when did you know about this project? Wrong answer, Mom. Wrong answer. The correct answer was, let's get going. Or remember the time you asked your dad, you said, Dad, I need to upgrade to the new iPhone X. And your dad said, what's wrong with your current phone? It's not an iPhone X. Wrong answer, Dad. See, dads, moms, they're going to change a lot. And I want you to be prepared for this. This is really going to happen in the future. Don't do this today. Kind of test the waters a little bit. But there's going to come a time you want to ask mom and dad for advice. Really, this is going to happen. I'm going to swear to God it's going to happen. And, you know, I saw this happen with my own parents. I remember I was 22. I had my first job. I lived in this horrible apartment. I was eating peanut butter like 4 times a week. And I thought, you know, I'm going to go visit my parents and see if they have food. And I get there, and my mom and dad, they have suitcases packed by the door. And I, like, where are you going? Oh, we're going to Europe. What? Yeah, we're going to Europe. We're going on a river cruise of Vienna and Prague and Budapest. Well, I want to go on a river cruise. Well, you have a job. So, Peanut Butter Boy, you're not going anywhere. That's when I knew my parents had grown up, and it was time that I had to let them go. And I want to prepare you for that. Let me tell you something else about your parents, too. They were once cool. They were cool. They had cool things. They had a phone that flipped in half with an antenna that pulled up that only made phone calls. Oh, this was cool. They had a gigantic iMac that was pink. They could see through the back that took up the whole tabletop. Cool stuff. They had a 6 CD changer in the trunk of your car. You don't even know what that is, but it was cool. It was so cool. And you're going to find this stuff one day in the garage in a box. You're going to say, what is this junk? And your dad's going to go, hey, that's my cool stuff. Leave it alone. Your dad had cool clothes. Still wears some of it today. Via tennis shoes that were white. They were so cool. Some of them maybe even worn them here today. Very cool. Very cool. But your parents, they're amazing people. And as you're going to get an opportunity to know your parents as adults as you guys go through the world. And it's really going to be special. I got a chance, my wife and I and my daughter, we took my parents to Spain a few years ago. And it was a totally different experience. I mean, I really experienced my parents in a whole different way. And I'm very excited for you folks that that's going to happen for you. And I remember telling my mom, I said, Mom, I never realized how much you did for us till I had kids of my own. And my mom goes, that's right, you better recognize, sure. Which wasn't really the hallmark moment I was looking for, but we had a weird family. Don't kind of judge your family life on ours and everything. But I'm going to ask the graduate of this class, which I'm so impressed with, to do me a favor. And it's not today. It's actually 10 years from now. And I hope you do remember to do this, because I did this recently, and it was just the most amazing day. 10 years from now, I want you to look back at your life, where you are, because about that time you probably have started to go down the path that you want to go to, and you've established yourself. And I want you to look back and think of a teacher A teacher that taught you something that was a building block for the rest of your life. A teacher that made you think differently about something that you'd never thought that way before. A teacher that introduced you to art or music or literature and it was a lifetime love. I want you to think about that one teacher that changed your life. And as an adult, 10 years from now, I want you to find that teacher. Maybe they're still teaching at this school. Maybe they've retired. Maybe they've gone to another school. I want you to find this teacher, and I want you to contact that teacher. And I want you to tell that teacher what you're doing in your life. And I want you to tell that teacher how much they meant to you. And two things are going to happen. One, you're going to make that teacher's, not day, you're going to make their life. That's going to be like the best day of their life. And I'm not saying that as a joke. That is going to make their life. But it's also going to do something very special for you. It's going to make that day be just one of the most memorable days of your life because you're going to converse as adults. You're going to kind of share what you're doing in your life. You're going to see how your life and their lives dovetailed. It's going to be an amazing day. I did this not too long ago. I had a teacher, Mr. Reuter, in the 9th grade, and he kind of taught me to look at things just differently. And so many of the lessons that he taught in his class in the 9th grade, I still think about today, which is really amazing when you think about it, that one teacher like so influenced you that you still think about what he said today. And I remember one thing in particular. He was telling us about a friend who was 30 years old and had never gone to college, never had the opportunity to go to college. And he said to Mr. Reuter, he said, I've always wanted to go to college, but I'm 30 years old. It's just too late. He goes, well, why is it too late? He goes, well, I'd have to go part-time. It would take 8 years to go part-time, and by the time I graduated, I'd be 38. He goes, okay, how old would you be in 8 years if you don't go to college? And I go, well, I guess I would be 38. And he said, yes, that's right. So those 8 years are going to come regardless. So why not follow your dreams, even if it takes as long as it does, because those years are going to come regardless of how long it takes. My point here is being all the cool things I've ever got to do in life, I did later in life because I had money, I had time, and I had the experience and the wisdom to kind of tackle new things. And so I challenge you to, your life is going to be so amazing, but if you don't get it all accomplished in the first 6 years, believe me, after 30, that's when it's really going to get cool because by then you've paid off 1/3 of your student debt and you've got time and money to do that. And so I do ask you to reach out to your teachers, not today, but in 10 years, and let them know just how special they were and how they influenced your life. And if we can give a round of applause to these educators here and what they've done. I was so impressed when I heard where all you guys are going to college and how many colleges had offered, financial aid for you to come there, and just this class, every single person here is going to college. That is pretty rare that happens at a school, and yes. I'm just blown away by you people. You're amazing. You are really, really amazing. Students going to A&M, Princeton, Duke. I went to a school. Our school motto was free parking. It wasn't really impressive. So, just to go to these prestigious schools, it's really great. But I hope I get a chance after graduation to get and talk to every one of you. I know a lot of you have family, you have friends, you have celebrations to go to. Your time is very limited. I won't get that opportunity. So I would like to say this publicly. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope you have a wonderful life.
It is indeed a wonderful day, and I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to just say a few little words to this graduating class. But please help me to congratulate the class of 2019. You have achieved something that few others have. You are graduating from an IB World school that offers the full continuum of IB programs. This is indeed a huge accomplishment. You are also the 10th graduating class of Westlake Academy, and we are so proud that that 10th class is indeed you. The faculty and I are so proud of you. As we talk about you collectively, we know that you are ready to take this next step in your journey and to write the extraordinary story of you. We know that you are head and shoulders above your contemporaries. We have so many artifacts of all of the wonderful things that you're doing and all of the wonderful things that you have done. And you are ready for this next challenge in this ever-expanding global landscape. You're going to begin your journey, this new chapter, at some of the world's finest institutions of higher learning, from Duke to the University of Chicago to Johns Hopkins, to Brown, to Princeton, and so many other universities and colleges in between. And we know how prepared you are. And I had this speech all written out, but I'm just going to go off script because there are things that have been said over the last 48 hours that have just kind of echoed through my head about you. And what I keep hearing over and over again, and I've witnessed it as well, is that what a cohesive group of individuals you are. I know that it takes a village. It takes a village to educate you. You've had some of the most incredible teachers during your 13 years with us, or your 5 years with us, or your 2 years with us. You were well educated and you were well prepared. But the unique thing about you is this relationship that you have built with one another. You understand that it takes a village, and you have created your village, and that village has sustained you. As we went to the Oasis and we watched you prepare for your exams, those last minutes of cramming information in so that you could do well on your exams, you weren't individuals walking around the room. You were in small groups, and you were discussing, and you were reminding each other of this fact and that fact, and you were laughing and you were enjoying each other because you have created this village of support. So I challenge you to think about that and think about how you created this, because it's not just by accident. It was because of the people that you are. And so as you travel to the next phase of your life, I want you to build another village, because it's the people that we surround ourselves with. It is those individuals that help us along our journey and help us get to where we're going. And you can't do it alone. You need that village. So, one of the great things about you is that you've created this village, and I'm going to challenge you as you move to the next chapter that you find your village and that you excel, that you do these amazing things. I have to remind you one more time that you are extremely lucky and wonderful and fortunate people, and you're brilliant, and you have been given the gift of an IB World education. Use it. Use it to take you to that next chapter, and then to the next chapter, and to the next chapter. We are so proud of you. We could not be more proud of you. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your hard work, your grit, and thank you for choosing Westlake Academy.
And now the moment that you all have been waiting for. Will the first row of the graduating class of 2019 please rise? Trevor Carson Atkins. John Luke Albritton. Marshall Graham Baker. Hunter Victoria Barnard. Samuel Harrison Beecham. Nicholas Bradine Bellinger. Luke Joseph Berteau. Sajbir Singh Bhatia. Madison Jane Brazil. Meredith Ann Brown. Omar Adnan Bukhari. Mauricio Canales. Sophia Amanda Ladau Carino. James Javier Cavazos. Aiden Bennett Cothra. Meredith Aaliyah Donato. Kevin Alexander Dooley. Jill Aaron Egley. Jillian Karin Fultz. Dinesh Daraj Ganesh II. Delaney Brooke Gaston. Grant Michael Gibbs. Ave Gupta. John Austin Hernandez. Myra Hussein. Saki Mansoor Islam. Samuel Yahua Jung. Maha Anwar Kershid. Story Dylan Kamura. Cassidy Lynn Kraska. Connor Wayne Kraska. Nico Tomas Lehu. Julia Macy Loten. Andrew Douglas Martin. Daniel Martinez Murillo. Mackenzie Echo Matthews. Emily Christine Mayhew. Amanda Marie Mendonca. Hannah Mae Messner. Maggie Elizabeth Moore. Ashley Wanjiku Muthami. Presenting this diploma is founding council member of Westlake Academy, former mayor, Scott Bradley, Reese Allen Nicholson. Lily Astrid Odom. Reed Rush Olson. Macy Janelle Orman. Anishka Anna Peter. Amarisa Core Robinson. Thomas Nicholas Robinson. Caroline Spencer Ross. Hannah Lillian Silverothenum. Stratford Travis Small. Aubrey Marguerite Smith. Alicia Berketh Samani. Kyle Austin Balazan Shirchantra. Shelley Reagan Suttles. Matthew Allen Titzler. Kaylin Ann White Frierson. Marissa John Daniel Withers. Allie Sim Wu.
To the Honorable Mayor Laura Wheat, Westlake Academy Board of Trustees, Superintendent Amanda DeGan, Executive Director Dr. Michelle Bryson, and honored guests. I have the distinct privilege of presenting the class of 2019 to you for confirmation. They have satisfactorily fulfilled all of the high school graduation requirements prescribed by the Texas Education Agency and Westlake Academy. The faculty and administration can confirm that the members of the class of 2019 are now officially graduates from Westlake Academy. Graduates, please move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations.